Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick review to Hunters of Dune by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. It's kind of exciting to see that this book was able to be created, honestly. I think that Brian Herbert has a lot of love for his father's work, and I think that comes across in his writing and his style and stuff. It's interesting to see the pacing differences. I would say Frank Herbert had college lectures instilled in his works, which I enjoyed because I do enjoy kind of seeing how big minds think, and I definitely think that Frank Herbert is a big mind person with some interesting ideas on the human condition. So, but that deterred a lot from his previous books. The audiences and its approachability, it made it kind of an insurmountable task, I guess you could say, for many people. And this is recognized by Brian Herbert and Anderson. So I feel that they toned down on that. They kept the pacing faster to where it went through the action and things like that, but still had the descriptions necessary and still had philosophy woven throughout. There were many moments where there were quotes and thoughts that were very Frank Herbert-esque, and so I thought this was a lot of fun to see Brian take up the mantle in this way and to be able to write this book. Now I'll be moving on to Sandworms of Dune. I'll leave a little review for that as we get to it. But in the meantime, I guess spoiler alert, I just want to address the ending and then I'll get going on this. But the old man and woman are expressed as what those are in this book. And as it turns out, it's artificial intelligence left over from the Butlerian Jihad and the humanity's initial struggle with those machines. So you have the ancient enemy on the outskirts. I thought it was really awesome that the honored matres are explained in this book as the axolotl tank females having been awoken and furious. And it's interesting to see all these Golas coming back of like Paul Atreides, Leto II. I think moving into the final conclusion to Dune, I'm most curious of what the God Emperor is going to do. Good old Leto II. So it's a lot of fun. And I think more than anything, I just want to express how fun this was to read this book, to listen to it. And I definitely recommend it. Like, I love the Dune series. It's very instructive. I think I'd consider educational reading in many aspects, to be honest. Hey, sorry about that cut there. Needed help with the kiddos. There's little Joanna here. That's our youngest. Yeah, she's a pretty one. Anyway, closing thoughts. Interesting things I thought with the book, with the development of characters. That was perhaps different than what Frank Herbert intended. Rebecca, for example, her being turned to an axolotl tank, that was an interesting twist. I thought it at least made sense, but I have no idea if that's what Frank Herbert intended for that character. So you will see things like that where perhaps the vision does differ or some is lost in translation as Brian and Kevin work with the bits that they have, the notes and the outlines. But yeah, so those are just kind of my overall thoughts on Hunters of Dune. Miles Teg is probably my favorite character. I think it's awesome to see him have his little moments. It's cool to see Paul Muad'Dib coming back and stuff. So I guess at the very least, even if people don't particularly like the way that Brian looks to end the series, hey Joanna, what are we doing? It's at least nostalgic, I guess we could say. And I think it is a better nostalgia than perhaps what we see in the newer Star Wars movies that frankly suck. So, but I don't know, hardcore Dune fans might feel the same toward these. They might think that they suck, but I didn't. I thought it was fun, and I thought it was refreshing to see Brian so in love with his father's work. I think that comes through really strong, and I think that's awesome. But anywho, so that's my review for Hunters of Dune. I thought it was great. I'm excited to get on to Sandworms of Dune, and I will see you guys in the review of that video. Say bye, Joanna. Bye!